I have been waiting very patiently, impatiently a little bit, but also patiently, for the weather to turn properly. I've just been waiting for, you know, like that iconic, the leaves are red and yellow and brown and the rain is coming, and I indeed think I might be waiting a little while for that day to come. I kind of wanted to welcome in this new season with a bit of a full day vlog, so we're just going to be doing it anyway. So that is what today is about. I am going to be just kind of doing all the cozy things. I have some like creative projects that I want to be working on. We have, because it is fall in the UK and I feel like everybody has either a pear tree or an apple tree, we have surplus of pears from our back garden, and then my neighbor has gifted me the most humongous pile of apples with the most giant apples I've ever seen in my life. We're going to attempt to bake something with that because otherwise they will die soon. So we're going to do something with those, and I have a few different books on my TBR. Number one is People Watching. This one just came out. I adore this cover. It is just chef's kiss. I get this sense when I look at this, actually it kind of makes it feel like one of those like guess the differences puzzles, and I find myself staring at it and I'm like, this is the difference, but I think everything is the same except for them. Oh god, I'm gonna spend hours doing that later. That's fine. Anyway, puzzle in a book, love it. We have that on the agenda, might read that. Or the other one that I have been already reading, which is probably more likely to be honest, is Practical Magic, which is a fall classic also, I hear, and I have indeed been saving it since last year when I heard that I had to listen to it, and I have thoughts, to be honest. I am not really sure how I feel about it, but alas, yes, we will get into that further and we will discuss it. Anyway, that is the agenda for today. Let's get into some cozy activities to begin. I have some writing things that I want to work on, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to drink my drink and then we'll get into the rest of the day. Okay, so if you're new here, you might be wondering, she doesn't usually do writing content. Correct. But alas, here we are. No, actually, fun fact, if you didn't know this about me, I do in fact work a day job writing. I am a writer by trade. And you might be thinking, oh, wow, she's an author. No. It's the most disappointing thing when someone asks me what I do and I go, I'm a writer, and they go, oh, what books? And I'm like, different kind of writer, but that's fine. I would love to one day answer that question with this book, but alas, to do that you would have to write one, so I will come back to you on that. But yeah, no, I essentially write a lot of mundane things. I do a lot of travel itineraries and sales copy, and it's not that exciting in the creative, fantastical aspect of things, and so I like to keep my creative juices flowing. I try to like cram in some creative time, and so that is what I'm doing. Right now I'm working on, I've been trying to experiment with different formats, and I know I've been working on a longer format project, and I find sometimes that I really struggle because I'm just so unused to that format. I'm very used to the shorter essay style, and so I'm trying a new technique where I kind of start my writing session with something short. It's kind of like that Pomodoro, I don't know how to say it, the tomato timer. The tomato timer method, where you just kind of do short stop, go, and just like write non-stop for that time. It's kind of what I'm doing. Anyway, if you're not a writer, maybe this is very boring to you. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. And then I ideally from that, the word count gets flowing, the brain starts moving, and then I move to the other project. And yeah, I'm just trying to get words in for that. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. Okay, so I am all done with my writing for the day. Look, it wasn't incredibly productive. I kind of got a little stuck and ended up like rereading a lot of stuff, but it's fine. I was there, I was in the creative process. I think I really discount that part, honestly. Like, it's so easy to just get caught up in the putting words on the page thing. And sometimes you just write a lot of words and you're like, I should have thought about that before I wrote the words. So anyway, I thought today, which I'm pretty sure, who is it? Is it George R. Martin who's a big advocate of the thinking? No, it is Frederick Bachman. Frederick Bachman is a fan of the thinking, and my God, that man writes some pretty words. So if it's good enough for Frederick Bachman, it's good enough for me. So yeah, that's how that went. We are moving on to the apple. I think I'm going to make crumble, I think. We're going to make on, we're moving on to apple crumble. I truly was not kidding. And I said that the apples are inhumanly big. They are quite literally the size of my forehead. Oh, that one has a hole. That's concerning. I realized I have been using BookBeat, actually kind of like a Spotify service, and you have like a number of hours per month that you pay for, but it's more than like the 30 hours that Spotify gives you. They have Practical Magic on here, so I will be continuing to listen to Practical Magic. So I'm going to listen to that while I make apple crumble. And we'll discuss this book because I don't know how I feel about it yet.
He breaks one in half. Been twisted, and nothing will save France. Man in the garden has no more of his own. The man in the garden is easier to see than James. He is taking his turn now. During these days of silence, his sister's there. She does out loud, girl. She doesn't like the sound of this. Tell me if you see him. But she recognizes her mother's tone of...
So, like many a book, I have gone into Practical Magic with pretty much no idea what it's about. The thing I have going in my favor, the thing I have in my sorry, it's not meant to be yielding a weapon. The thing I have going for me is that it's very vague anyway, and so I will proceed with delicate caution because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But I will say that this book is not at all what I expected. I don't know, like all the vibes that I got from it just straight off the bat, I was expecting kind of like, if you've read The Witches Magical Innkeeping, I'll put it here. It's something I read last year, and it was kind of like cozy and vibey and witchy, and that was kind of what I was getting from it. I was thinking like, oh yeah, cool, it's gonna be like almost like a modern witch. Kind of, it starts off in this house and these girls have these aunts and everyone on the block thinks that they're a little bit witchy, and then it just like takes this full 180, and I just don't know how we got here. And let's just say it's very fitting for the October spooky season. I just got where I'm up to. On the audiobook, I'm just about coming halfway, like 45%. And yeah, holy smokes, it's creepy. So I don't know how we're gonna come around to this. Yeah, anyway. Also, those giant apples, I have literally like cut 2 of them and then a few little ones, and I have an entire bowl, so I still have like all of those over there. Yeah, I still have all of those to get to. So yeah, let's keep listening. So this book, I have about 45 minutes to go, it says, according to my Kindle. I'm about 90% through. I still don't quite know what genre this book is. And when I tell you I went into this book with no understanding of what I was in for, I truly had no idea. I did just Google. I was like, what genre is practical magic? We're getting lots of options here. Like 5 different genres. And what it's saying here is, you know, it's a little bit of magical realism, fantasy, romance, but also with elements of gothic and dark comedy, which I would very much agree with. And apparently, part of the reason it's such a popular book, it's actually one of those precursor novels that kind of like start a genre, which has gone on to become paranormal women's fiction, which now that I read it, I'm like, of course, that makes total sense. So yes, this is paranormal women's fiction. And I don't know, the more I read, at first I was like, I don't know what I'm reading. And then I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then we got to the middle where things went a little sideways and I was like, this is weird. And now I've done a full 180 and I'm like, this is brilliant. Like, this is so good. There is such like a huge role of like feminism in it, in a way that I don't know that I'd fully be able to like dissect it without like a reread, to be honest. But like, I feel like each character has been given a different component of like female, like the female existence, like the challenges we face as women, and each character got something different to like their characters based on that trait. It's brilliant. I am having such a good time. I see what all the rage is about, but anyway, I'm going to keep reading. As I said, I'm pretty close to the end. I think we're going to be able to wrap this up tonight, which is lovely. It is coming up almost 6 o'clock, so I'll read a little bit more before dinner, and then yeah, if not, I'll finish it after dinner. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to it. Officially a wrap on practical magic, and that brings us to the end of this very, very cozy day. Yeah, I'm feeling the vibes now. I feel like that really did it for me. Oh, creepy. Spooky vibes are here. I understand the hype now. I get it. I'm gonna probably have to do a full review on a separate video, but that was phenomenal. And I looked more into the whole women's paranormal fiction thing. And apparently it's meant to be targeted toward women in like middle age, which, as I'm not that old, but I am in my 30s. And so we're getting up there. And so it was just really beautiful to read it, like women in older stages of life. And to be honest, there's women in every stage of life in this. I don't think I even really went into it, but we've got, it's very wide spanning. It starts with the girls when they're with the aunts, when they're kids, they grow up, they go on to have kids. Like, it's a whole saga. But it was phenomenal. That was really good. Yeah, really good. Oh, hello, girl. I think that brings us to the end of the cozy day. Thank you for watching. Hope you stick around a while. And of course, most importantly, happy reading. I'll see you in the next one.